Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sound of a Gap and this is 1979 Revolution Black Friday. Welcome back to a new episode, and in this one we will see chapter 4 and 5. First we will be on the streets and talk to people and see them protesting, and we will get a lot of insights about the life during the revolution. And then afterwards we will see that the police are trying to end a speech, and we will also meet a future troublemaker. Alright guys, so please enjoy. Chapter 4, not the Iran you left. Shereza Avenue.
This is not the Iran you left a year ago. The people are angry, especially after Savak burned down the Cinema Rex.
Are you talking about the fire?
Don't tell me you haven't heard of Cinema Rex. Over 400 people died in that fire. And now, it's time for answers.
You think it can get out of control?
Look, it could get ugly, but we won't achieve anything through violence.
How are the people gonna take on an army?
Look, Bazaar, you have to believe in the power of people, okay? Good will triumph. Now come on, it's time to discover what this revolution's all about.
Oh yeah. Alright, oh, I can move, but I can't turn the camera. Looks like there's no way to run or to move quicker. No. Okay. Then, who's this guy?
That's an interesting look.
I've seen this guy before. He calls himself the Walking Dead. He's a walking memorial.
Besaram, my son, please take a picture. Show the world what is happening here.
To enter photography
Reza,
mode,
just
R1.
look at this street as a sandwich.
Are you okay, Bobek?
Yeah, I'm great. Oh, Leon, it's the perfect analogy with the perfect ingredients. The bread, the cheese, the siyadune, the sabzi, and the tea.
Saman, The Walking Dead. Some protesters were graphic photographs of murdered revolutionaries and became walking billboards. Whether the victims were killed on the street, tortured, or executed, their stories were immortalized in the revolutionary landscape. Some protesters were graphic photographs of murdered revolutionaries and became walking... Yeah, that's actually the same text. Okay. Alright, just too bad I can't turn the camera. I would like to see what else is around. Can I enter photograph... No, I can't enter photography mode on my own, so just if the game tells me. I wanna see... Approach and press the X button to hotspot icons to interact. Yeah.
Think about it, Reza. The laborers, the bazaris, they're the bread, the noon. You can't make a lokme without barbari, and you definitely can't have a functioning society without workers.
Okay, I'm listening.
Street Bazaar. The bazaar is the people's market in Iranian cities. Bazaris, shopkeepers and merchants were instrumental in the resistance movement against the Shah. Jome Bazaar, or Friday Bazaar, was and continues to be a weekly event whereby merchants gather to sell goods. The bazaar is the lifeblood of Iran's cities, especially the capital, Tehran. Isn't there an E missing? Tehran. Or is that the way it's written in English? I'm not sure. It is a social and intellectual hub, buzzing with activity and teeming with richness of an ancient culture. Items for sale range from barrels of saffron or dried mulberries to hand-woven silk rugs that cost as much as a family's fortune. The bazaar's role was central in amplifying the message of the revolution. The entire nation felt the backlash of closed storefronts when thousands of bazaris went on strike against the Pahlavi regime. And another thing I really enjoy, I like that you can hear the native tongue here and there. And that you can see what it says in English, of course, but hearing that makes it even more... what's the word? Believable and real. Yeah.
Unable to escape the building. Our BBC journalist in Tehran says that this is the biggest act of violence involved.
دولت ایران میگوید که حمله تروریستی دیشب را که به مردی تقریباً 400 نفر در سینمایی در شهر آبادان انجامید رسما بررسی خواهد کرد.
Okay. Yeah, let's listen to it in English.
The Iranian government government says that the death toll from the terrorist attack on Cinema Rex in Abadan has officially reached 400. Radio Iran reports that the bodies of 377 people were recovered from the rubble. 2 weeks ago, the cinema was filled with moviegoers when terrorists, who were positioned at all four corners of the theater, set it ablaze. The exit doors were locked, leaving the patrons unable to escape the building.
Whoa.
A BBC journalist in Tehran says that this is the biggest act of violence involving arson that Iran has ever seen. Another cinema in Shiraz was burned, and a bomb explosion in a restaurant injured one person. A week before that, a total of 3 people were killed at a cinema in Mashhad. The Iranian government says that the death toll from the terrorist attack on Cinema Rex in Abadan has officially reached 400. Radio Iran reports that the bodies of 377 people were recovered from the rubble.
Yeah, leave.
2 weeks ago, the cinema was filled with moviegoers. The exit doors were locked.
As I was saying, Reza, the cheese, the paneer, that's what makes a sandwich a sandwich. And the cars we drive, the clothes we wear, the things we follow, that... We're one of the biggest exporters of oil in the world, and our people still have to stand in line to fill up their tanks. Tell me that isn't backwards.
Oil boom. The oil strikes of late 1978 brought a sudden halt in oil production, leading to widespread shortages. The Shah's White Revolution introduced the trickle-down economic theory to Iran's oil market. The method ultimately failed to positively impact Iran's lower classes, who were left out of the terms of the deal. Privileged business owners benefited from the incentives to set up factories, but they often took advantage of their underrepresented workforce, who were working for low wages and in dangerous conditions. From the perspective of the working class, the oil boom perpetuated corruption and economic inequality. The oil strikes of late 1978 further complicated the situation. The sudden halt in production of Iran's most lucrative export led to widespread oil shortages. Alright, I just skipped that because we heard that at the car already. I just wanted to read through it once more. The Cinema Rex fire. 1978 was marred with protests, riots, mass mournings, and televised statements from the Shah. The year's most deadly attack happened on August 19, 1978 in Abadan, a city in western Iran, known for one of the largest oil refineries in the world. The Cinema Rex movie theater was set on fire, killing everyone inside. The tragedy was mourned by thousands across the country while marking a turning point in the revolution. Great controversy surrounds the perpetrators of this attack. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope my reading will get better.
Like I was telling you, that's what makes Iran Iran. Mint, basil,
So is it peace you want or a fight?
Peace, security, death to the Shah. Iran is our country. Peace and security.
It might
Yes.
not be as poetic as Hafiz or Rumi, but it gets the message across. Think of
Okay.
the slogan on the wall of martyrs.
چی میگفتم؟ Mint, basil, tarragon. The students, writers, the revolutionaries, giving us the extra kick we need to set change in motion.
I was sure I hit the X button at the right spot. I don't know why it is so blurry, but I'll take it. Free speech. In the Shah's Iran, free speech was punishable by imprisonment or death. The Shah exercised absolute power. The people risked imprisonment or death if they challenged his rule. Those who spoke against the Shah's regime were systematically punished. Ayatollah Khomeini criticized the Shah's regime for crippling free speech. He preached, the government shouldn't censor the people, so they cannot speak. They shouldn't break their writing instruments, so they cannot write. It's really interesting what we hear about the past and the life in Iran and stuff. This is why I want to get as much detail as I can.
Are rotting in jail.
There's another cassette over there.
How many more must unjustly be imprisoned so that the Shah can live in his lavish palace and deny us our basic freedoms? Here, brother, read the truth of what is really happening. Anything else you read is corrupt and filled with lies.
Sure, let's take it.
Thank you, sister.
خواهش میکنم برادر. Stay true, brother.
It's the only legitimate source to read now.
And another speech. I have no idea how to open that menu, or do I go into under stories? Ah, here it is. Okay, then I will take a look for those for the pamphlet and the second speech. Revolutionary pamphlets. Members of different political factions distributed reading material on the street. The people's grievances largely concerned issues of human rights and the Shah's foreign economic policies. Many Iranians felt personally invested in the social causes of the revolution and often debated the issues with fellow protesters on the street.
The foundation of our Islamic government is based on freedom of dialogue and will fight against any kind of censorship. In the Islamic Republic, the rights of the religious minorities are respectfully regarded. Our future society will be a free society, and all the elements of oppression, cruelty, and force will be destroyed. We would like to run the Islamic government like Islam at its beginning, so that people know how different the Islamic democracy is from other democracies. If the people of the world know the benefits of Islam, my hope is that they all become Muslims.
We must come together as one for real democracy. Newspapers are lying. This speaks the truth.
Unemployment, okay? A garbage can of history. In the 1970s, Iran's income inequality gap was the widest in the world. The economic recession had devastating effects on the working class as the rate of unemployment ballooned. An economic recession hit Iran's working class in the summer of 1978. Caused in part by the Shah's ambitious modernization and development programs, the rate of unemployment ballooned and the wages of many workers dropped by 30%. He has an ambitious modernization and development program and the unemployment rate ballooned? Shouldn't it go down then? Because everybody has some work? According to 1970s reports from the International Labour Office, Iran's income inequality was the widest in the world. The people looked to the government to offer assurance and a solution, but the Shah's indifference exaggerated, I want to say, the situation. Yeah, we can take so many pictures. Babari bread. Babari is Iran's national flatbread. It is common to find a noon vaye or bread bakery on every street corner. There are a variety of breads baked in Iran, among them sangak, lavash, taftan and babari, Iran's national flatbread. Bread is a large part of the Iranian diet, and it is common to find a noon vaye bread bakery as often as one would find a corner store in a crowded city. A traditional Iranian brunch includes babari served with ligvan, cheese made from sheep's milk. Siadone, black seeds from fennel flour, a cup of chai, Persian tea, and korma, dates.
Fresh and delicious.
Yeah, let's get some bread, guys.
Smell the barbari.
There's nothing else like it. Enjoy this, my friend. Nusha Junet.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, the bitter siyadune, the black seeds on top, are all the people left in the shadows by the Shah. The drug addicts, the beggars, the poor.
A little bit too early maybe, but looks still fine. Woman and child. While some enjoyed a time of great prosperity during the Shah's rule, poverty and inequality became a rapidly growing problem. Poverty became pervasive during the Shah's reign. Many of Iran's laborers became destitute due to extremely low wages imposed by foreign investors like Great Britain. Iran's perceived economic progress became overshadowed by poverty and income. Sounds wrong grammatically, but okay. Became overshadowed by poverty and income inequality.
The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. There's no chance for people like her in Iran today.
Let the smoke of this Esfand protect you, my son.
Inshallah. Merci, Khanum. I hope you and your child find what you need.
Esfand o Esfand.
People use the walls to post information in writing too. At least before it gets torn down.
Hey brother, got something to post to the wall?
خوب نگاه کن. اون برادرمه. That's my brother. He died for this revolution.
Okay, we're gonna start from the left. Okay.
Hey
No.
brother, got something to post to the wall?
That was
خوب
weird.
نگاه کن. اون برادرمه. That's my brother. He died for this revolution.
I think he means this, right? No?
Hey brother, got something to post to the
I
wall?
can't
خوب نگاه
read
کن.
anything.
اون برادرمه. That's my brother. He died for this revolution.
Post something. Let the people know they're not alone.
Yeah, post a slogan. Sure. Peace and security. Yes, nice. Okay. On we go.
These makeshift shrines started appearing when people went missing. And now it's become a wall of martyrs.
Guerrilla news. To combat censorship, people posted news, literature, and messages freely and anonymously on city walls. Makeshift walls and vandalized building facades were the social media boards of the time. The government's strict censorship led people to take matters into their own hands. City walls were often covered with news and literature posted by the people to combat these restrictions. Many relied on these postings as their only source of true information. And what do we have here?
ببین کوروش عالیه ها. He's a real rock star.
Yeah, Kurosh is good, but Dariush is the man.
Back. Gugush released a new album. Damish Gam.
I love Gugush. Gugush is beautiful.
I want to take a look at the rest still. And we have some new facts, and we're gonna read it in just a bit. Pick prayer cards.
See that stack of prayer cards? The guy who owns the stand is probably Christian. Hey, if Gugush and Adidas are good cheese, this guy getting mistreated because of his beliefs, that would be bad cheese.
You're
Wait.
crazy, Bobek. Divune. Hasan Divune.
He said Adidas and Gugush. What is Gugush? Is it Google? Oh, there's a second page to the garbage can of history. So we have this one, and then it continues. During a televised press conference, the Shah infamously remarked, "This is intolerable. We shall take those who do not work by the tail and throw them out like mice. He who does not do his job properly is betraying not only his own conscience, but also his patriotic duty." His strong words triggered a wave of strikes, demonstrations, and retaliations. The It Girl. The Iranian popular music scene of the 1970s was dominated by one name, Gugush. Ah, that's her! But did you say Adidas? I don't know. Her talent and stage presence led to massive success as a singer, actress, performer, and fashion icon. As a Jill of all trades, she often collaborated with other Iranian pop icons like musician Dariush Egbali and actor Behruz Vosugi, sorry if I butchered those names, who she was married to briefly. Gugush's influence on Iran's cultural narrative ran deeper than superficial contributions. Iran's youth looked to her as a trendsetter in beauty and fashion. However, it was her captivating voice and haunting ballads that came to define the thrills and heartbreaks of a generation and a tumultuous chapter in Iranian history. The new Islamic regime outlawed popular music, ending Gugush's career in Iran. She continued to make music in the US, but remained in Tehran until 2000. And that's my dog, I'm so sorry. I don't know why she's barking. Mom, the modern Iranian household. With modernization sweeping the nation, Iranian men and women pursued Western interests in non-traditional music, fashion trends, and lifestyles. Parenting magazines like Mom offered tips on how to enrich one's child with comics, short stories, and number games. The magazines also ushered in a different era of parenting that involved self-reflection with a greater focus on the child's desires and aspirations, a modern concept for a traditional society. Churches, synagogues, and fire temples. Iran is home to the largest population of Shia Muslims in the world, but it is also home to a variety of religious minorities who have shared rich pasts for thousands of years. There are over 70 non-Muslim places of worship in Tehran alone, including many churches, synagogues, Zoroastrian fire temples, and a Sikh Gurdwara. Yet, one faith in particular has endured a long history of discrimination and persecution in Iran, both pre- and post-revolution. Members of the Baha'i faith, a monotheistic religion that teaches of the spirituality and oneness of humanity, which sounds actually not bad, spirituality and oneness of humanity. Are not formally recognized in Iran's 1906 constitution. Baha'is live in the shadows and face institutional and social prejudice. Really? And to be honest, I don't even know all of those places. Never heard of Zoroastrian fire temples, and the Sikh Gurdwara, I've never heard of those. Interesting. Asphalt and the Evil Eye. Asphalt comes from the dried seeds of a flowering plant native to Iran. The burning of asphalt is a Zoroastrian purification ritual that dates back to the pre-Islamic Persian Empire around 600 BCE. It is used to ward off the negative energy of the evil eye. Someone can cast an evil eye upon another's fortune, success, good looks, or even happy disposition. The belief is that the evil eye brings about misfortune and negativity, causing one to lose the positivity they enjoyed before. To protect against the evil eye, Iranians burn asphalt over charcoal, causing the seeds to crackle and plumes of smoke to rise. The asphalt is then swirled 7 times around the head of the one struck by the eye, while reciting a prayer. It can also be used to purify the home.
Bazaar, I have disco, rock and roll, and heavy metal. Take a listen. Baradar, bia ye cheesy daram vasad. I have something special for you.
Look at all these cassettes.
I have lots of Khomeini and even Shariat Nadari.
How did you get these?
My brother, he has a connection, but you can find them hidden all over the city.
Ah, okay, so you could collect those on the way. I'm not gonna look for all of them, so we're just gonna go through. We're gonna start on the right this time. Rock and roll. Yes. Can I switch the music?
You see? I'm not the only one with these cassettes.
Secret tapes. The most widespread and successfully undetected form of revolutionary communication was through the circulation of audio tapes that featured speeches by influential clerics. Well, I chose the music. Yeah. Some of the most influential revolutionary messages were communicated on cassette tapes. The tapes were smuggled into Tehran, reproduced and circulated covertly. Actually, it's just so funny to see cassette tapes again. It has been such a long time. Yeah. They featured voices of exiled clerical leaders and outspoken intellectuals who called for unarmed resistance and non-cooperation. The power of speech was so effective in mobilizing the people that it prompted leaders of the revolution to claim tape cassettes are stronger than fighter planes. Yeah, I still remember, vaguely remember the first time I had a cassette player, a portable cassette player in my hands, like a Walkman, but not really a Walkman because a Walkman is by Sony and that was very expensive, but just like a cheap version of that. Yeah, and I was recording songs from the radio to have them on my cassette player to listen to when I was going to school and stuff. Boy, that has been such a long time.
Let's get to the front before the crowd pushes us back. Cool,
Lead
let's
the
do
way.
it. This is gonna be great, Reza. One day we can tell our kids about this. No matter what, Paul, keep your eyes on me and let's not lose each other in the crowd.
As long as you survive. That was chapter 4, not the Iran you left.
Brothers and sisters, forget what you have read in the newspaper.
Chapter 5, Glorious Shining Iran.
We know the truth and we can no longer be afraid to speak it. The Shah claims our nation is a democracy, but how can that be true when we are imprisoned and executed for our beliefs?
That's Bibi. She's one of the leaders of the student front. What do you
like
think,
her.
Reza?
Man, I'm impressed.
Bet goftam, I told you so.
Join me in welcoming Brother Abbas, a personal hero of mine, and a man who has endured persecution and torture for his vision of a free Iran. I am honored to share this stage with you, and we are all humbled by your courage.
Thank you, Miss Golistan.
Sorry, that sounded just funny.
Represents a regime whose leader, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, came to power illegitimately.
Come on, Reza, join in.
The deputies
Yes, Abbas!
appointed by him
Say it,
in
brother!
our Senate and Majlis are therefore illegitimate.
That's right,
We as
illegitimate.
the Iranian people, we must never forget what happened at the Cinema Rex by the hands of the secret police, the Savak. They trapped 425 innocent women, children, and men inside the cinema and burned it to the ground.
Good guftam, huh? Pretty impressive, huh?
I like what he's saying.
Reza, you should be taking pictures of this. This is a momentous occasion.
Man, look at all those people on the stage. Who are they?
All the major players are represented. You got the clergy, the communists, the Tudeh party, student leaders from the National Front, even the Mujahideen is represented.
All of them are here to support Abbas?
It's dangerous for Abbas, but that's what he needs to do.
How long do you think a truce will last?
I don't know, we'll see.
How many more pictures do I have to take?
Still hiding behind the camera. Something
Who is...
Ali!
Who's Ali?
Ali, what are you doing here?
Let me look at you. Wow.
Ali?
Oh, shut up.
I can't believe you're here. What are you doing here? Savak and the military are everywhere.
All right, get over here. Thanks for bringing this out. About time my cousin opened his eyes to the real world.
Ali, where you been? Kujayi?
I'm sorry it's been so long. I had to disappear for a bit. No one knows I'm back yet, so let's keep it hush.
Wait, are you no longer with the Mujahideen?
What have you heard? Shishanidi.
Ali, what's going on?
I did what I had to do. You do the same.
That's not an answer.
You know this is a peaceful movement. Brother Abbas is preaching nonviolence up there.
How's that working out, Bobak, huh?
I knew it.
I am for the side that wants to win.
I see some of our friends have decided to join us. Khoshumadi, welcome. Let them arrest us. Let them beat us. Let them jail us. They are our brothers in wolves' clothing.
This is a peaceful
This is our
assembly.
democratic
I have
right.
done nothing
We've done
illegal.
nothing wrong. You cannot arrest
Take
him.
your hands off her.
This way. Go.
This is a disgrace, Reza. We're all supposed to be on the same side. We're all countrymen.
This could get violent.
Yes, it could. And that's exactly what they want.
So stand back.
Reza, you must take a picture of this. People
Sure.
need to see the truth.
Shit. That was not... No.
See? There's always a battle to fight.
Hey, Ali, what are you doing?
No!
Get out of here.
That's...
Soldiers aren't the enemy, Ali. They're oppressed
No.
workers. Don't you get that? They're forced to take orders by our oppressors. We're all the same in the eyes of this abusive government.
What? Who cares what they're wearing if they're attacking us?
Seriously, Bobak? Do you hear yourself? Nobody forced them to put on those uniforms.
I didn't mean to say that, to be honest.
What choice do they have, Ali? They need their jobs.
You always have a choice.
So support the Shah or let your family starve. You call that a
What
choice?
about my family? My father? Arrested, tortured, murdered, and for what? What choice did he have? If you're gonna cry, Babak, weep for him.
When does it stop, Ali?
Don't take the...
When we make it stop. I fight for the innocents lost in that Evin prison.
You worry about your damn soldiers.
You win?
Don't do this, Reza.
No,
Trust
don't
me.
throw a stone.
You throw that rock, and it's gonna change you.
You can do this. Make a stand.
No, no,
Drop
no.
it, Reza.
Ali, what about what Abbas is saying up there about peace and prayer?
Stick to your pictures, Reza. Why live in the real world when you can just take snapshots of it instead?
Listen to him, Ali. Doros mige. You made the right choice, Reza. What are a few rocks going to do other than justify the army to attack us?
Yeah, exactly.
This is Ali's thing, not mine.
They're taking Abbas. Final chance to redeem yourself. Do what's in
Don't
your
listen to
heart.
him, Reza. It's not the only way.
I'll stick to taking pictures.
You disappoint me, Reza.
I don't want to throw rocks. And mollies, sure.
Look what Ali started. Come on, let's
Those
get
were
out of
just
here.
warning shots. But yeah, let's just leave.
Whoa! Wait, hey! Watch out!
This is illegal. All of you go home.
That looked funny. The way he slid over the hood. Or bonnet.
Oh! Oh! Hey!
Come on, quick. Get up. Yep. Get you. Move it. Nice. I've maybe 5 or 6, I'm not sure. Glorious shining Iran.